The desire to change what you cannot change is such a heartbreaking thing. At first, I think Anurag had written the dialogues, but I think Reema was not happy with the flavor that was coming out. Yeah, Raju has a great sense of humor, and I think that's one of the big aspects of all his films. Humor. And I think PK also has its fair share of humor, yeah.
In the last 10 or 11 years, somewhere, you know, if you look at the kind of film that you're doing, be it Lagan or be it Rang De Basanti, Taare Zameen Par, and even 3 Idiots for that matter, somewhere, you know, these films, they'll be remembered even 20 years down the line. Is it a conscious decision on your part that you want to make films for posterity, something that will be there?
No. The only thing I'm thinking when I'm selecting a film is, do I like it? This story, does it affect me? Does it move me? Does it touch me? And if it does that to me, I want to be a part of it. At that time, I don't know what the business will be. I don't know whether it will be remembered in posterity, whether it will turn out the way we wanted to turn out. I know none of that. I just know that it excites me. I know that for the next 2 years of my life, I'll have a great time working on this material. That's all I'm concerned with. It makes me happy.
You've said somewhere that for me, the process is more important, more joyful. I would like to have my entire concentration on the process right from the first step.
Yeah,
that is what you're aiming at. The chemistry, if you're talking about between you and Kareena and Rani, many a times you can have a very open expression of maybe affection or whatever. But one particular scene when you and Kareena, you're in the lift and she's just coming out and her just fingers brush against you.
Yeah,
you know, that has an electrifying moment to it.
Yeah.
You know, apne aap mein that moment just, it has that tingling feeling to it.
Yeah.
Do you feel that maybe less can be much more if it is done in the right manner?
Yeah, I think you're totally right. I think that Reema, and for that matter, Mohanan,
yeah, I think fantastic work.
Have done some amazing work, and they've created this, you know, this world which is so vibrant, which is so mysterious, which is so magical, which is so emotional, all at once, you know. And I think this is as a result of Sharmishta, who's a production designer, Mohanan, who's of course a DOP, and Reema as a director. I think the kind of performances she's brought out from all of us, the kind of visual effect that she has imagined for her film, all of this has, you know, really added to this kind of charm that the film has. And you're absolutely right. Some really beautiful moments in the film, you know, which I will always remember. One of them is when my character is unable to sleep at night. And he keeps going through in his head that same scene that had happened with his son. And he thinks that, I wish I had said this to him. I wish I had stopped him. I wish I had gone with him. That deep guilt and regret and the desire to change what you cannot change is such a heartbreaking thing. You know, I really love that scene very much. And I also really like the moments between Kareena and me when we are sitting and talking, and you know, those scenes are very, very poignant.
On the rocks and all.
Yeah. I really love this scene.
You know, the dialogues are very interesting. The dialogues have layers to it. Maybe just for the sake of dialogues, one would want to see the film for the second time maybe. Now, confusion in my mind is that what has been written by Farhan Akhtar and what has been written by Anurag Kashyap? You know, because both have a certain way of writing actually.
Yeah. No, actually, what happened, I think at first, I think Anurag had written the dialogues. But I think Reema was not happy with the flavor that was coming out. And then she spoke to Farhan about it, and then she asked Farhan to write it. And so the bulk of the work is Farhan's, as I understand it. But there were some things that Anurag had written which were also very good. So Reema wanted to retain some of that. So I think while the bulk of it is Farhan's work, I think that's why Anurag has got the credit of additional dialogues, if I'm not mistaken.
Ji.
I mean, both are really talented people, Farhan and Anurag, and both are very close to the film. They both love the script, and they both love what Zoya and Reema have written, and it is very generous of the two of them, who are both creative minds in their own space. They have both very generously contributed, you know, to Talaash.
Many of the actors in the film, like Sheba Chadda and Nawazuddin, I think these guys, they've done brilliantly as well.
Yeah.
They have a very, I think, important portions.
Yeah,
and,
every part in this film is very well written and well brought out, and I think the casting is fantastic. You know, the casting of this film has worked out really well, and each actor has performed really well.
Some men's group, in fact, they have certain objections because apparently they feel that you have shown them in a negative light, maybe in Satyamev Jayate, and they have been telling people that you should be boycotting talaash and stuff like that.
I'm not aware of it.
Yeah, the news item is there.
What is this men's group? What do they feel?
They feel that you have maybe
been unfair to them.
Yeah, projected men in a negative light. And how do you react to such a thing that comes about?
I don't think that ever in our program of Satyamev Jayate we have tried to project
men in
either men or women in a negative light. I don't think that has been our endeavor. So maybe they are mistaken about it. That's all I can say. I don't know what else they have in mind.
Okay, and how do you react to the entire Satyamev Jayate factor that when we spoken to you when you were in Chicago that you will be continuing with this thing, you'll be having something on Republic Day as well. Now gradually that entire flavor of whatever you did at that point of time is growing with each passing day. Even today in the FDI debate in Parliament, one of the MPs, she made a passing reference to pesticides in farming. It was a different context.
Right.
But somewhere that awareness thing has been grown in many of the factors. Does it make you feel good as a citizen, as someone who's wanted to make certain effort?
Yeah, well, I think that all of us are really happy with the fact that the effort that we made or the attempt that we made has been received in such a positive light, and the fact that we are able to collectively as a society debate about certain things, try and understand about certain things in a manner that we can, with the intent that we can make our lives better. It's wonderful to see that happening.
You and your team has been nominated for Indian of the Year for CNN IBN this year, in fact.
Right.
In the entertainment category.
Right.
Do you think that is something that is encouraging?
Yeah, it's most encouraging. I think that I'm very happy to know that the work that all of us have done as a team is being appreciated. I'm happy to know that.
Coming to Dhoom 3, you've said, I think yesterday only, that it's an all-round entertainer and the kids will like it as well as the elders and all. In the last few years, the trend has been there's a Tare Zameen Par and then there's a Gajni and maybe Fana as well. So after every time when you come up with maybe a somewhat call it as a serious or niche film maybe, and you come up with a total massy entertainer, so is that the plan now?
No such
300
thing.
crores, something like that? I don't know.
No. I mean, I just pick films. I'm not in control, of these things. When a good script comes, I want to do it. I did Talaash because I believed in it. I did Dhoom 3 because I believed in it. So I'm not able to plan so much, I'm afraid. But things have panned out quite well, I would say.
Yeah, because that has been the pattern.
It's a coincidence.
That is a pattern, in fact.
Please don't give me the credit for that. It's a coincidence.
PK, PK is another film with Raju Irani. I think you can't get more massy than Raju Irani. That Tofa Kabul Kijiye and all that. The front benchers love that sort of sense of humor as well. Does this movie has that brand of sense of humor as well?
Yeah, Raju has a great sense of humor, and I think that's one of the big aspects of all his films, humor. And I think PK also has its fair share of humor. Yeah.
Thank you very much for being on Bollywood Hungama once again. And
thank you.
Thank you for entertaining. Because कहीं ना कहीं कहा जा रहा है that you have become an ISO mark. आपको एक आमिर खान की फिल्म में ISO mark है उसमें that there will be a certain amount of quality, which is I think a rare for any actor.
Well, I'm happy that people have expectations of me. It tells me that they have liked my earlier work, and I will always try to make sure that I live up to their expectations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.